Look at this.
Hello and welcome to my first video blog.
That was 10 years ago, and I'm still here making videos. So I thought for the 10-year anniversary of my YouTube, I'll put up some questions on Instagram and just go through them, see what the people want to know. Well, it sounds ridiculous me saying this, but genuinely, the first question is, why are you so sexy? See, a long time ago, I made this kind of deal. I'm not sure if it was worth it.
Yes, settle.
Oh, sorry about that, I feel a bit funny. Next question. Do you still like disguises? I love disguises.
They are rather necessary when you're hiding something like this. They don't let just anyone wear a mask like this, you know.
Sorry about that. What happened to that young, innocent young man? Two youngs there. Too much. Right, next question. And this is just blue tit. Blue tits are quite interesting. Any kind of ornithologist working here in the UK or indeed within Europe will tell you they are quite possibly the most aggressive bird. You know, when you take birds and you're doing ring samples, normally they sit still in your hand when you're holding them. Not blue tits. They will attack you. You go and visit a blue tit nest, it will attack you. Doesn't matter if you're several times the size of it, blue tits will attack you. Feels weird that blue tit is the question and not the answer.
They must evolve to survive, but evolution is not fast enough.
How do you keep up your smouldering good looks? Things I've done, sacrifices I have made. Maybe it was worth it.
Drink the blood while they are still warm. The screaming will disguise the taste.
What would be your dream job? Someone's slipped in a normal question. Why would you do that? Honestly, the job I have now, I absolutely love it. For those who don't know, because this is the internet, a lot of you probably don't know, although these are largely watched by obliging friends and family. Basically, I act as a kind of tour guide overnight at a zoo. It's a brilliant job. So that is certainly a contender. You know, I'd also like to, do some writing. I have written some stuff. Actually, I did a video put online. The Haunting of Bill Foreman. I've written some other stories, short stories, so maybe I'd like to be an author. But also stuff involving nature. Maybe if these videos take off and somebody at the BBC or National Geographic says, he'd be a good presenter, I'd definitely take that opportunity. I'd love to give that a go. Not likely, there are so many people clamouring to do that sort of thing. Feels weird having given a proper answer to a proper question. What made wasps and bees become mortal enemies? Do moths hold the key to a truce? Now that is a very interesting question. Are they mortal enemies? Maybe. What is the mortal enemy? I think as far as a wasp is concerned, everything that isn't a wasp is a mortal enemy. And moths, they might hold the key to a truce, but see, they're never awake at the same time, so we'll never know. Actually, really cool fact about bees and wasps. I believe it's in Japan. the hornets over there will try and predate the honeybees, but the body temperature and temperature tolerance of the bees is slightly higher than that of the hornets. So then when one of the wasps attacks a bee, all the other bees will come and swarm around the hornet, vibrating themselves, raising the temperature and effectively baking the hornet with their own bodies. So do we want the truce? Because that's just really cool.
It's okay.
Sometimes at night, I think I hear the sea and then I realise it's the tumble dryer. Why? You know, actually, I have sometimes heard things in the night. Literally on my very first night sleeping over at the zoo, I was woken up by the sound of jazz ghosts. Genuinely. This kind of dum dum dum, a jazz bass line. And I went outside and suddenly the sound was gone. And I could tell it wasn't coming from one of the nearby pubs. There have been some nights when the pubs have played music all night, and it was a lot louder than that jazz bass line. I could hear the lion roaring along with Waterloo by ABBA. Anyway, back to the jazz ghosts. Because I mentioned this and I was told I sound insane. But then a few weeks later, I was at home and was woken up by the very same jazz bass line. And then I realised, sleeping at a certain angle, I could hear my own pulse in my ear. No jazz ghosts, just science. That doesn't really answer the question, but I think it helps. There's some common weirdness in our sleep and the things that wake us up in the night. What's the next question? I'm not normally holding two things in these videos. I think it's been a while since I've been drinking a cup of tea in a video. If you could be any kind of egg, what egg would you be? Who would you choose to hatch you? And there's a lot of animals that lay eggs. I'm going to just stick it to creatures that are alive today. Just because, you know, paleontology and prehistory, that's just a massive subject. So I'm just going to ignore that, something alive today. Well, I've thought the animal that I would suit being, and I guess this is what I would be when I hatch out, or maybe I'd be myself and just raised by another animal. I think I would like to be an emerald tree monitor. Cool, inquisitive, arboreal lizards, quite a wide diet. I think that's the kind of perfect animal life there. Why is 6 afraid of 7? I guess 7 was just odd.
You'll see me again.
Darwin is to the beagle as Dennis the Menace is to what? Well, I'm tempted to say Nasher, with the whole dog connection there. But then again, Darwin, in later years when he published Darwin published the Beagle, he published The Voyage of the Beagle, when he published The Origin of Species, sort of became his own kind of menace to his crewmates, because they were against the idea of evolution when Darwin published it. Even the captain, Robert Fitzroy, eventually committed suicide, and some say that this is partly because he blamed himself for Darwin's heresies. So maybe Dennis the Menace is to the Bash Street Kids. You know, I always said the Bash Street Kids was always my favourite strip in the Beano, not Dennis the Menace. Although I also like the Numbskulls. So yeah, I'm going to say Darwin was to the Beagle as Dennis the Menace is to the Bash Street Kids. Relevant to one another, and certainly you can't separate them mentally. It just feels like, you know, Dennis the Menace is just a few roads down from the Bash Street, but they wouldn't necessarily get on. Actually, no, the Bash Street Kids would definitely get on, but Dennis the Menace, he just takes things too far. So that is what Darwin was to the Beagle. Well, that's it for the questions. I guess I just have to say thank you for watching, not just this video, but for the last 10 years.
When you leave the video, I can still see you.